Welcome to episode 145 of Cameron Sports Podcast. This show is Cameron Lindsay with a brand new episode. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about some recent events that has happened in the world of college football. I was thinking about doing this topic, talking about it on my podcast or not, but I was like, you know what? I think it's a worthy topic to talk about. And it's about former Michigan head coach Sherome Moore. I'm giving my thoughts on the situation of him being fired by Michigan. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, Michigan fired head coach Sherome Moore Wednesday, December 10th. When that happened, I was confused because I'm like, what? Because they just won 9 games. Now, second year, he just finished his second year as full-time head coach. First year, they went 8-5. They beat Alabama in a bowl game. Like, okay, that's good, especially coming off a year where Jim Harbaugh leaves, J.J. McCarthy goes to the NFL, Blake Corum goes to the NFL. You lose half your starters on offense and defense. So 8-5, cool. You beat Alabama in a bowl game. That's good. This year they win 9 games. I'm like, okay. Now when I first initially saw that, I thought like dang, maybe Michigan AD either one, like that loss to Ohio State really pissed them off because, like, you know what, we beat Ohio State the past 4 years in a row. Us losing to them and not making the Big Ten championship and not making the college football playoff. But I'm like, nah, that can't be it. Especially in year 2, it got to be something. Usually, I've seen teams on all different sports fire a coach. If they fire a coach after a winning season, and that coach ain't been there long term, something going on in that locker room, in that facility, in that program, in that franchise. Something's going on. And lo and behold, it was. So apparently, for those of you who don't know or may do know, Sherome Moore, he was fired for inappropriate relationship with a university staff member. And, I'm like, oh, snap. When I heard that, I immediately thought Emeka Udoka, the former head coach of the Boston Celtics. For those who don't know who is Emeka Udoka, he's the head coach of the Houston Rockets and the former head coach of the Boston Celtics in the NBA. So, situation with Emeka Udoka, while he was the head coach of Boston, had an inappropriate relationship with a woman who worked within the franchise with the Boston Celtics. And now apparently he's married. He was married. Guess who, y'all? Nia Long. I didn't even know that he was married to Nia Long at all. To be honest, I didn't even know Nia Long was married. And I'm like, that's who he married to? They got a kid or kids together. I'm like, wow. It was just a whole bunch of mess. He got fired, and he was a good coach. Boston, I think he led them to the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals. Got fired. I'm like, bro, you gotta be a dummy to risk your job over some booty. Oh, some booty. Especially if you married, man. Like Sherome Moore, you didn't learn for Emeka Udoka. I would think people, regardless, not even just sports in general, if you see somebody else, that's like if you scam or you steal or kill somebody, or have a baby by the wrong person, and you date a type of person that's bad, I would think, and you see somebody else go through that, I would think you'd be like, you know what, let me not do that. Or if I do it, let me do it in a different way. Don't get me wrong, I don't condone cheating. But if you're going to do it, don't do it in the work environment. Or you're going to do it in the work environment, don't do it within the facility of where you work. Don't do it because somebody going to see something, and don't do it within work. It's like he couldn't have, granted, like I said, I don't condone cheating. He could have took it to a hotel, made her get a hotel in her name, something. But even then, though, you're still risking your job. You were a head coach at one of the top premier programs in the country at Michigan. That's a historic program. You're making well over $6 million a year, about $14 million with bonuses and stuff. Like, I don't get it. Over some booty, man. You got a wife and kids. Like, come on. You were in a position where you're in the top 1% of men on this earth that makes well over 6 figures. I hope one day, I know I will, but I'm still pray that I do. I can't wait for the day I make over 6 figures, because that's ridiculous to risk your job. University of Michigan, he may not, for this situation, I don't think he probably gonna ever get a head coaching job, at least at the Power 4 level. He maybe at like a FCS junior college, he may get a chance to coach. But at schools like Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, it's dead. Yeah, it's just crazy, and it gets even worse. Not only did he have an inappropriate relationship with this woman, he got arrested too. The same day he got fired, he got arrested. The police or FBI came to his home and arrested him. He's charged on 3 counts of 3rd-degree felony, home invasion, 1 misdemeanor count of stalking related to a domestic relationships, one misdemeanor count of breaking and entering illegally entrance without owner's permission. So apparently, the girl that he had an inappropriate relationship with exposed their relationship, because at first, I think this was according to Michigan Athletic Department or whatever, they started investigating it, hearing things about it. So they questioned the girl and Sherome Moore about, is there anything going on between them? They say no. They find no evidence. Now, I guess apparently something happened. The girl changed her mind and come forth and showed them proof. And Michigan said, okay, we don't tolerate that, and fired him. So Sherome Moore felt like she ruined his life. Not only, maybe his personal life with his wife and kids, got him fired from a great job in Michigan. And I guess and apparently it said that in the article I read online that he told her, my blood is on your hands, because he threatened to kill himself, and said that she ruined his life. So basically saying his blood is on her hands, so him killing himself is going to be on her. And I'm like, bro, that's crazy. How we go from seeing you coaching on the sidelines to Michigan to this? Like, it's just crazy. Like, I don't know, like, what the thing, like I said, you didn't learn from the Emeka Udoka situation. Like, granted, I know those 2 different sports, but that's still sports. I'm pretty sure you in your office, but before he became the head coach of Michigan, when you was an assistant and Harbaugh was there, you didn't see on TV Udoka cheating on Nia Long with somebody, getting fired from the Boston Celtics. And the Boston Celtics is a historical job in sports. To be the head coach of the Boston Celtics, they have the most NBA titles of all time with 18. That's a historic franchise. And he ended up getting fired. Now, granted, he got a second chance. He's the head coach of Houston Rockets. That's a good job. He's in a pretty good situation. But I don't know if you're going to get no second, because one, I think Michigan really used him as a scapegoat. And what I mean by that is they had a whole lot of allegations going against them. After Harbaugh left, even when Harbaugh was there, cheating signs, somebody from within that department went to games to spy on teams that was going to play. And then Harbaugh got a 10-year ban. They got a big fine, scholarships reductions, I think. So, but the only thing they haven't done is strip them of that national championship. And Sherome Moore, they got punished so bad that he got suspended 4 games during the season. Luckily, it wasn't the first couple games of the season, but 4 games during the season, he had to serve a suspension. 4 games he had to serve. I think it was like 2 or 3, somewhere between 2 and 4 games he had to sit out. And now, granted, I also thought, like, okay, dang, 2 years. Now, I wonder if he would have beat Ohio State and Michigan beat them for the 5th year in a row. They finished 10-2. Probably not make the college football playoff. 10-2. Would they have fired him? Then, like, I don't know. Let's say he went 10-2 last year, 10-2 this year. Would they have fired him? Maybe, but I think because he's obviously, I don't think, the long-term answer for head coach. And then, like, it just kind of made it easier to get rid of him. Especially, like you said, you have a code at your school with 0 tolerance of inappropriate relationships. Almost any job, the job I work at Kia, they have a rule about team leaders or group leaders, basically managers and regular workers dating. That can't happen. So yeah, he gets arrested, charged on 3 counts. Now he recently got released on bond, so that's good. Yeah, like I said, his time in Michigan, he went 18-8 within 2 years, so that's good. It's not bad. It's a pretty good record for 2 years. Now he was on a 5-year, $6 million deal with $30 million total with bonuses, but with being fired, he is voiding $14 million in his buyout. So because of him getting fired in a situation like this, he voids $14 million. That's crazy. So you basically risked money. You risked $14 million for some booty. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That just made me sit here and think, even not now, but before, when I heard about it, I'm like, wow, man. It goes to show you, and I'm a man, I can admit this. So, some of us men will risk almost anything for a woman. Like I really believe it. Seeing Emeka Udoka get fired from the Boston Celtics, seeing Sherome Moore get fired from head coach of the Michigan Wolverines football team. It really, I already know dudes will kill another man over some. But they'll lose their job, no matter if it pays them millions of dollars. Like, that's crazy. Like, again, like I said, I don't condone cheating. But if you gonna do it, don't do it with a place you work. That's dumb. Like, part of me kind of feels bad for him, just a little bit, just a little bit. But you can't do it with a place you work, and really, it's not even worth it at all. You got a great job. I don't get it. Like, why risk that for average looking woman at the University of Michigan? It's not like you mess around with Beyonce. It's not like or Rihanna or something. Granted, again, I feel bad for his wife and kids, because like, you married, you shouldn't be doing it anyway. I wouldn't do that to the girl I love. That's my future wife. So yeah, but it's just crazy. And like, now the woman's name is Paige Shivers, and she was an executive assistant for Sherome Moore. So she was hired by Sherome Moore. She's 32 years old. Now, when I read that, I was like 32, because the picture I saw of her, she looked like she was probably like maybe 21, 22. I thought she was young. She's 32. I mean, 32 is not old, but like I would have thought she's younger than that. But no, apparently not. But because Sherome Moore, I think Sherome Moore is like, I think he's 39, if I believe. Yeah, 39. I think Sherome Moore is 39. Like I said, now, again, do I feel sorry for him? A little bit, just a little bit, but you did it to yourself, man. Again, I feel like you saw the Emeka Udoka situation in the NBA when he got fired from the Boston Celtics. You could have stopped and thought, like, you know what? When I'm doing this wrong, maybe you could have ended it before it even got to this point. But I mean, even then, once you get started to something like this, what's done in the dark comes to light. And yeah, that's I feel bad for him. It's just real dumb. Like, why would you do that? Like, $30 million total, 14 you're voiding, so he won't get that. And then if his wife divorces him, she gonna get alimony. Child support. So she might clean his bank accounts. All that money he got saved up for the millions he's gotten. So the 2 years he's worked in his 5 year, the 1.5, 2 years he's worked in his 5-year deal, she might take that. I don't know what going on in his personal life with his wife. That's him. But yeah. But now with Sherome Moore being fired, I'm wondering who should be the next head coach of Michigan. I wrote down a few names. Now, granted, I only think really maybe one or two. I say two. I wrote down 4 names. 2 of the 4 is somewhat of a shot, but one of them I think really might take the job. First off, Marcus Freeman of Notre Dame. I saw on Joel Clack's show he named Marcus Freeman, and I thought, like, that would be a good hire, Marcus Freeman, but I don't think he's going to lead Michigan. Notre Dame in itself is a historic program. They have great players, I think, and everything. Now, the whole situation with them option out a bowl game, I don't support. I think that's a bad move. Look on Marcus Freeman. Make you look soft as a coach, as a football team. But other than that, he can coach. He's a really good recruiter. I think Michigan would kill it in recruiting with Marcus Freeman in Michigan. Now, I don't like I said again. Would I leave Notre Dame? Not necessarily unless that money is higher than the one I already got. But even then, some coaches they feel like they got a really good situation. Like there's no reason to leave. Like Kirk Cignetti at Indiana, he didn't took no calls about Auburn or Florida or LSU. He was fine in Indiana. He got a good situation in Indiana, so he feel like why leave? You know. Next up, Kenny Dillingham, the head coach of Arizona State. He's a pretty good coach. Arizona State's been good the past couple years. They made a college football playoff last year. And of course, this year they didn't. But I think Kenny Dillingham was pretty good hire. He's a young coach like Marcus Freeman. So that I can see him leaving Arizona State. They're in the Big 12, so that's a potential chance for right there. Get Kenny Dillingham. I think it's a possible chance because his quarterback is about to hit the Sam Levitt is about to possibly about to hit the transfer portal. So most likely they're gonna have to restart. Cam Scatterboo's already gone. He's in the NFL. So most likely you're gonna have to start over. I mean, Michigan, you got to start over anyway, especially if you lose Bryce Underwood. I don't know if he's gonna enter the transfer portal or not. But especially if you want to keep some of your recruits, I think that'd be a pretty good hire, Kenny Dillingham for Arizona State. Next up, this next name, it's a chance. I give it like a 4, 5 out of 10. It's Kellen DeBoer, head coach of Alabama. Reason I give a small chance is depending on how Alabama does against this game against Oklahoma. If they beat them in advance, I don't think he's going anywhere. If they lose or like get blown, let's say they get blown out, which I don't think is gonna be a blowout. If you see my last episode, I got Oklahoma by 3. I think it's a possible chance he may conversate. Like if they call him, he'll pick up the phone, and be like, oh, that's a good opportunity. I have to think about it. Blah blah blah. Maybe because maybe the pressure of Alabama is already tough. You are in the shadows of the greatest college football head coach of all time, Nick Saban. So, but would I leave Alabama for Michigan? No, because Alabama's a really good job in itself. But again, like I said, Nick Saban. I feel like Nick Saban really kind of made that job really good job. So I wouldn't blame him if technically Michigan is a more historic program than Alabama technically. So it's a chance, but I'm not sure he leaves. And lastly, Dan Lanning. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see no chance of this. But it's just a good name. It would be. I wrote it down because I feel like Dan Lanning would be a great coach at Michigan. I wouldn't leave because I think he has a great situation at Oregon. You have a top 5, top 6 recruiting class every single year almost since he's been there. He's been flipping 5-star recruits. He's been getting elite transfer portal guys. Oregon's a contender every year in the college football playoff. This year they're in the college football playoff again. Last year they won the Big Ten in the first year in the Big Ten conference. And this year they're 11-1, have a home playoff game against James Madison. And like I said, of course, you're a great recruiter, you're a great defensive coach, a great head coach overall, and you have unlimited NIL money with the owner, the founder, Phil Knight of Nike, who will give you unlimited NIL money. Phil Knight literally said, because Phil Knight is alumni of Oregon, and the headquarters of Nike is up there, that whatever they need, there's no limit to what Oregon sports needs as far as recruiting or building facility. So you have it all right there at Oregon. Granted, yes, Oregon has really not won a national championship, but they have produced some pretty good players. They are on the come-ups. I always liked Oregon growing up, but I mean, of course, I'm a West Virginia fan because I went there. But actually, before I was a West Virginia fan, I was an Oregon fan. The uniforms, D'Anthony Thomas, Marcus Mariota, Darren Thomas, LaMichael James, all them boys right there that I just named. I love that Oregon. The uniforms, the way they played, the style they ran, all that. So I know about Oregon's program. So I would not leave Oregon for Michigan, and like I said, unless that bag is bagging. And when I mean it's like an offer where you literally can't say they throw a bag at you like you can't say no. Like when Jimbo Fisher left Florida State for Texas A&M, he got that 10-year, $100 million deal. You get something like that. Now, granted, that's Texas A&M. They got that oil money. That's in Texas. They got real big NIL money too. But if they throw something like that at you, then it's hard to say no. It's real hard to say no because you trying to set yourself up for life, set your family up, set your grandkids up for life. But I just think he has too much a great situation in Oregon. I don't think he's leaving. So the only legit name on these 4 names I listed is Kenny Dillingham. Because Arizona State is really not an elite job. Like I said, he turned that program into something. So I think it would be no surprise at all if he leaves Arizona State for Michigan. But yeah, those are my thoughts, like I said, on Sherome Moore situation, him being fired this past Wednesday, December 10th. For inappropriate relationship with staff member that he hired. Like I said, he's been charged on 3 counts of third-degree felony, home invasion, 1 misdemeanor count of stalking or related domestic relationship, and 1 misdemeanor count of breaking and entering without the owner's permission. Like I said, he's been bailed out. I don't know when trial is. I'll stay up to date. Sports Center notifications on social media if I see anything. But yeah, I just think it's dumb. It's not worth losing your job over some booty. And plus, you're married, man. Like me, I want to grow something like my personal life with my lovely girlfriend, I grow something with her. So like, wow, especially somebody who's been with me where I ain't rich. If I get to that point, why would I want to cheat on her? Like we building this together. But hey, that's his life. Again, like I said, I did want to talk about it a little bit on my podcast, get my thoughts on it. I just think it's dumb. I feel bad for him just a little bit, but you did it to yourself, man. Hopefully he can fix whatever. But wanting to kill yourself over this, bro, like, come on, man. You better than that. You 40 years old. You better than that. And yeah, just learn from this. Turn your life around and bounce back. But I hope Michigan, they bounce back, find the right head coach. I think Killing Dillingham will be a fantastic hire for Michigan. But this has been your favorite host, Cameron Lindsay, on another brand new episode of Cameron Sports Podcast. And make sure to click that like and subscribe button, post notifications turned on if you want to touch down with Cam and stay up to date with all episodes, interviews, everything I got going on. We doing even better next year in 2026. I cannot wait. I got some stuff lined up like interviews that might have some really great players coming on. And especially soon, because them Carver Tigers in Columbus, Georgia won back-to-back state championships and Georgia State 2A championships in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. There's some great players, and I'm definitely gonna look forward to some of them coming on the show, talking to them, telling their stories, getting to know them on and off the field. But I'll catch y'all next time for another episode of Cameron Sports Podcast. This has been your host, Cameron. I'm signing out. Y'all take care.